Hi, Paul. You had asked me to give you a quick run through on the Prospect Manager dashboard that we have, just at least give you an idea of what's possible. We've done this and worked with this particular dashboard for a lot of different customers, and it works out pretty well. So basically, we'll just give you a quick tour here. So, the key here, in fact, probably one thing here is that you'll see that the breakdown is between both critical and non-critical prospects. And so, the other stages here are pretty standard best practice based stages for the prospecting cycle. So we'll start off in the non-critical ones. So obviously in the non-critical ones, you've got your cold leads, and those cold leads really are just anybody who has who you've not as yet spoken to, but also have not really qualified them at all. So you don't really know too much about them, and so typically you're going to have a lot of these in your database. Excuse me. The nurture prospects, on the other hand, these are guys that you have spoken to, but for whatever reason, they're not quite ready yet to do business. So they may have told you, yeah, you know what, we like you, but go ahead and give us a call back in 3 or 4 months. Or they may even told you, hey, you know what, I'm not interested. But from a business perspective, to me, not interested means not interested today. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to be interested again in the future. So they're probably going to be deserving of a callback, and maybe a few weeks, and maybe a few months, maybe 6 months, whatever it may be. Qualified, so these are your prospects that you have not as yet spoken to yet, but for whatever reason, maybe your marketing people or someone in your sales team has heard that they are interested in the products and services that you guys offer. So in other words, they're qualified, they're ready to run, but you have to talk to them. So these are good leads, but they need to be worked here in the prospecting cycle. Now, obviously, here under your critical ones, these are obviously more important. So these are the ones where your reps will be wanting to focusing in their efforts on. So we'll start off with the waiting discovery. So the waiting discovery just simply means that the rep has spoken to the prospect, and they've indicated some level of interest, and they want to call back in discovery session. So discovery session just simply means that you may be demoing your products, you may be simply talking about what it is that they want from you, or what they're looking for. All those kinds of questions that invariably come up in the initial stages in time with working with your prospects. Now, hopefully, this will then lead on to them requesting a proposal. So, obviously, that forces you to kind of go back to the drawing board as far as coming up with a proposal or a quote for them, and that's what this stage is here about. Proposal in hand means that you have given the prospect a proposal or quote. And sometimes, hey, you know what? Sometimes they'll give them the quote and they'll say, "Hey, we love it. We want to buy it." But most of the time, they'll say, "Okay, great. We need to talk to someone else, my business partner, or I need to get concession. I need to get agreement by my team." So usually then you've given them the proposal, and that's where this stage is here. Now hopefully they'll make the sale. You'll do a callback and they'll make that sale. But oftentimes they'll then go into that negotiating stage whereby they say to you, well, okay, so we like your products and service offerings, but maybe you can do a little bit better on the price, or maybe you want to can you get us a better start date here, or all those little things that invariably can crop up once the customer has an actual proposal in hand. So All right, so that's it for the dashboard, but I'm going to show you one other interesting piece that we've actually built out. Now, obviously, this is all great, and it makes it very easy for reps to be able to easily categorize and view all of their prospects in the various stages that they're in. In fact, you can get a quick view here using the funnel view as well, but there's also the help to remind you some of the details about all of the stages here as well. But one other thing that's important to note is that all of these are great, and so we've also added functionality here. So if I look here at this prospect record for Yahoo Corporation for Dennis Mervis, you can see here that the status is currently set to awaiting proposal. You can see the key relationship is prospect, and that they are awaiting proposal. And it actually changed from proposal in hand, but we can. I'll show you here in a moment. So if we actually go on over to our awaiting proposal section on the dashboard, we'll actually see there's Dennis. Now, so right now he is awaiting proposal, and so they have been given the proposal, and now that's proposal in hand, but they've already gone into you've done the proposal review, but they've already started asking you about pricing, about changing some of the terms and conditions on the proposal, all things that you'll need to probably consider to get back to them on. So that's when they potentially could say, well, let's go ahead and put them in the negotiation phase. So they're already there. So they kind of skipped over the proposal in hand. They're right on to the negotiation. Not a problem. We've added these buttons right at the top here to make all these to make all of this very easy. So we go ahead and click on that negotiation button. It automatically pops up the completed next action screen. It's automatically populated the reference line, populated the activity codes, the result codes. Now, if you're familiar and been using GoldMine for a long time, you probably are well aware that there are activity codes in GoldMine. There are result codes. But the reality is a lot of users just simply don't use them because they take time. Well, we've kind of removed that. We've given the value of using them without actually having to manage them. So they're automatically added into the screen here for the user. Now the user can simply click OK. They can add some optional notes if they want. So we can go ahead and click OK. And so you'll see right here that the status is then changed from awaiting proposal. In fact, it even shows the date here that it changed. It also shows the new status prospect, the prospect status here, right in that status field. And you can, of course, see that there's also that completed history here. Now, of course, back on our dashboard, if we refresh our dashboard, we can refresh that. And so what we'll now be able to see here on the negotiating tab, we'll see here that Dennis has automatically moved on over to that negotiating stage. So all of this is all kind of integrated, all together. And really, the overriding goal is just simply to make it as quick and easy and as simple as possible for end users to be able to do all this, and without having to jump through a lot of hoops, without having to put in codes or anything like that. As soon as you start trying to ask users to do anything overly complicated, they're probably just not going to do it. So that was one of the reasons why we built the dashboard, when we built along the buttons that go along with those. It's really, again, just to make it as easy, as quick for end users to use as possible, but yet also still be able to help them. Now, we've got all these stages here. Now, this does not necessarily mean that there are other things that reps will be doing for prospects as they work with them. It just means that these are critical milestones at which they are pretty standard on in the prospecting process, whereby they can then go in and use these milestones really to kind of measure where the prospects are at in the selling cycle. So it doesn't mean that they not necessarily scheduling other types of activities, but these are just easy ways to be able to critically identify um, those steps. Okay, well, that's it. And I'm going to, so if you, of course, have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. But really, again, this is just food for thought about um, working your prospecting cycle. Thanks, Paul.